about sport and it's about athletics. We got slightly sidetracked, and I regret that I have to revert back to the discussion on the CEO again, but I just want to pose a question that I did already. Has the Sports Council, the Irish Sports Council, at any stage urged Athletics Ireland to fire their CEO? No. And they've had no input whatsoever to the position of the CEO?
No, the position of the CEO, we appointed a CEO through a due process back whenever it was, something over 12 months, and the board signed off completely and unequivocally on Mary Coughlin as the CEO for Athletics Ireland, and that process was quite clear at that particular time. Unanimously signed off by the board.
The board of the Sports Council indicated a desire to get rid of Mary Coughlin, any individual member, as opposed to a board directive.
From no, we've had there was never an indication to us from officially from the Sports Council at any stage.
Officially and directly through an individual, from an individual, unofficially.
Within, I can't talk about it, within official meetings that we had with the sports with the Sports Council, and we had some fairly tough enough meetings with them in recent times. There was never an indication from the Sports Council or from any member of the Sports Council that would be the situation.
Chairman, is it the case that on occasions following meetings with the Irish Sports Council, then emergency meetings of your association were held where the position of the CEO was discussed, or would that be considered to be entirely coincidental?
Sorry, I missed that.
Following meetings of your board or some members of your board with the board of the Irish Sports Council or with some members of that board, that following those meetings there was a meeting of your own board where the issue of the position of the Chief Executive Officer was discussed?
Well, the position of the CEO, quite clearly, the position of the CEO has been discussed for many meetings. That's quite obvious for the last number of months. At various times, we've had meetings, and we've gone through the whole process, an internal process ourselves, in terms of our own what's required in terms of the proper running of a board. And
my question really, Chairman, is were those meetings where those discussions were held subsequent to meetings with the Irish Sports Council or consequent on meetings with the Irish Sports Council? Well, or any members of that board?
Every time that we had only a limited number of official meetings with the Sports Council, quite clearly we would have gone back to a full board meeting with a report from that particular meeting, and there would be other day-to-day business at those meetings as well, and we would have discussed with in-house issues arising from the Sports Council in terms of what they had actually raised.
Would they have raised the issue of the position of the Chief Executive Officer with you?
They would have raised the various issues in terms of our governance. There would be a whole...
The Chief Executive Officer?
Would it be normal for the Sports Council, do you think, to interfere in a way like that? To pass any comment at all on the CEO of any sporting organisation that was somebody who was validly recruited, I presume under an independent recruitment process? And I believe the Sports Council may have had a member on the interview committee that actually recruited her. So would it be normal for the Sports Council to comment on the CEO in a way like that, officially or unofficially?
Well, the Sports Council, I mean, we for all appointments, the Sports Council would be involved in it, and they were involved in the appointment process for the CEO. And that process was quite clear. We went through a process, and the board unanimously signed off. There's been no direct involvement by the Sports Council since then. There have been discussions at all sorts of things, but it's very, very difficult to within the broad remit of everything that was said at every meeting in terms of what might issues that might arise. But there was never the Sports Council have never said to us that the CEO in terms of us making decisions regarding the CEO, that did not come up with the Sports Council. That certainly did not come up at any of the meetings.
You know, you've no idea how they feel about the CEO or how any individual on the Sports Council itself feels about the CEO.
This would be a very difficult question to answer. We all would have views about various people at various things, and it'd be easy for me to say, well, I don't know how various people feel about anything. Saying about us feeling about various other people within our own organisation at different times. We all have discussions. We all have the pub talk type situations where we talk about various people, about various things, who's good and who's bad. But oftentimes it doesn't mean very much. The only thing that matters is what the official situation is at any time, and officially the Sports Council have never said anything to us. And it's the same with us internally, ourselves. When we would be discussing, I would have discussed with our CEO on a weekly basis when we were meeting up various things about various things. They do not become official until they become official.
And the delay, could I just ask you for clarification purposes, like the core funding, I think, have been recently been paid by the Sports Council, is that correct?
That's true, Chairman.
June this month, was it? Yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Is there any connection between, say, the delay? I mean, that money should have been paid in January, as in previous years, as I understand.
Well, it should have been paid around maybe
what is the connection between the issues involving the CEO and the delay in that payment?
I can't really talk for the Sports Council specifically on this. As soon as that matter arose, and I knew when the Sports Council were announcing their grants for the particular year, we were told in advance that we would not be included in the initial tranche. Unfortunately, there was the things came out in the public to say the actual reverse. We were actually advised in advance that we would not be included in the initial tranche of funding, that there would be discussions with us. Those discussions did take place after that. There were ongoing discussions. Of course, we were unhappy by not getting our core grant clarified at that particular time, but whatever reasons the Sports Council may have had, we worked and talked through them. And I was delegated by the board to actually go and discuss these issues with the Sports Council, which I duly did. It took a bit of time. We resolved at a very early stage the high performance issue, and Patsy, as chair of high performance, and his committee worked through various things because we had to there were additional plans that we had to actually put in place. We got that resolved, and then we tackled the issue of the core funding, and ultimately we got that resolved in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think you may have, to some extent, answered the question. There were reasons, I presume, given in the beginning by the Sports Council as to why they weren't paying over the full grant, or why they weren't making that commitment. And then